All right, last one. We're going to do applications. So this is taking this and making sense of it. Taking the math and trying to apply it to real world type stuff. You're standing on a cliff. You throw a ball into the air. The height of the cliff is 256 feet off the ground. So that's where you release the ball, right? You got velocity, you got this is gravity. This 256 is the initial height. At time equals 0. This is the equation at time equals 0, where t is the time and h is the height in feet. So how high is the ball after 2 seconds? Well, what you're going to do here is you're going to set t equal to 2. So what I would do is, so I find h of t, remember the functions we did, and I plug 2 in for t. That says after 2 seconds. That's a 2 plus 256. Well, that's a nice, you could square this 2 and get 4, multiply that, take that, multiply that times 2, add that. But quite honestly, this one, and I think even my other math teachers who don't really like to use the calculator would be okay with this. I'm going to do table edit function, and I'm going to enter that equation in there, just like that. Negative 16. Well, I don't have a t, so I'm going to use x. X squared plus 96x plus 256. Remember this one? Press enter. And it says x equals. Well, this is going to give me all the values. Now, why would I not have any negative values? Why would I not have t equals negative numbers? Right, it doesn't make sense because t is time and you don't have a negative time. So it says I want to find when that is 2. So actually, just to expedite things, I put 2 in there at my start. Enter, enter, smiley face, it's thinking. And you see there, t equals 384 feet. So it is, learn how to write. So the height is 384 feet after 2 seconds. Well, that would make sense because if I throw a ball, right, it's going to go up like this, and then it's going to run out of steam, and then it's going to come crashing back down. And where will it land? Yes, it will. It will land on the ground. All right, next one says, when will the ball reach 144 feet? Well, I don't really need to plug anything else back in there, but I can if you'd like to. I can solve this. Negative 16t squared plus 96t. I would subtract 144 from both sides. 112. 112. Or I could just scroll through this, right, in my table edit function, and my inputs. I look at my input of 7. What's your output when your input is 7? Well, when your input is 7, your output is 144. Well, look, that's the ordered pair. 7 seconds, it reaches 144 feet. So after 7 seconds, your ball will be at 144 feet off the ground. I think I have one more here to do. When will the ball hit the ground? Well, think about that. How high off the ground is it when it hits the ground? What's the height when it hits the ground? Well, we had a height of 256, and we had a height of 344. Then we had 384, and then we had a height of 144. When it hits the ground, the height is 0. So I said I find h of 0. You can plug all that in and solve for that. Or I can scroll down through here and see, in fact, that after 8 seconds, it will have hit the ground. My input 8, my output 0. So at 8 seconds, the height is 0. And that concludes it. That wraps it up.